Good day, boys and girls. Today's lesson is on the impact of European pursuits in Africa. Let's get straight into it. The background. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify Europe on a world map. Discuss reasons why Europeans conducted early exploration. Recall inventions that facilitated exploration by sea in the 15th century. Discuss at least two European economic activities along the West African coast during the 15th century. So, what we're doing today is focusing on two countries in Europe, and primarily we're looking at Spain and Portugal and their interest in early exploration during the Age of Discovery. And we're going to look at their impact on areas in the Far East, China, India, and specifically West Africa. The Renaissance, the age of exploration, saw many new inventions in Europe. Inventions in the maritime industry. Explorers were more confident to venture far out sea. Inventions such as the caravel ship. The ship was lighter, it was faster, it could travel greater distance by sea. The backstaff, the astrolabe, these inventions built the confidence and gave the tools to explorers to venture further far out sea, farther away from Europe. There was also the interest in proving that the world was spherical and not flat. There was also an interest to spread Christianity, to acquire gold, to acquire new territories, to gain prestige, and to tap into the Far East trade by sea. The race is on between Spain and Portugal to find the sea route to the Far East. Christopher Columbus, sponsored by King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, is set to find the Far East by sea. Prince Henry the Navigator is busy making maritime technology, map making, and all that is necessary to be able to find the sea route to the Far East by sea. Who will be the winner, Spain or Portugal? In the 16th century, it was clear Portugal ventured to the Far East way before Spain ever knew that they were in the wrong direction. Christopher Columbus mistakenly went to the West Indies and thought that the Amerindians he saw there, they were East Indians. Portugal was the winner of that race. They circumvented the African coast and they arrived where they needed to trade. Treaty of Tordesillas of 1494 was implemented by Pope Alexander VI in an effort to create peace between Spain and Portugal, as there was dispute over the territories that they came upon. An imaginary line was drawn on the map, dividing the territories that they came upon in half. That line and the treaty determined that The territories, as you are seeing on the map, by the east belonged to Portugal, and the territories over on the west belonged to Spain. This was in spite of the fact that persons were already living in these areas. Why did the Europeans explore in the 15th century again? Which of the options below is correct? Was it to trade, to meet new people, to spread Christianity, for gold and luxury goods? There is one incorrect option. Which is it? Of course, to meet new people. They never ventured from Europe just to meet new people. They wanted to trade, to spread Christianity, and they were in search of luxury goods in the Far East. The Portuguese immediately stamped their presence on the African coast. By the 1460s, they colonized Cape Verde Islands. Bartholomew had sailed around the Cape of Good Hope by 1488. And by the 1490s, Sao Tome was now a colony of Portugal. Focus on the commercial activities of Portugal on the West African coast. The Portuguese established trading factories. They inhabited islands along the West African coast to maintain a presence and tap into existing markets in Africa. They also engaged in the trading of humans for transatlantic slave shipment for labor in the New World. West African traders captured Africans and brought them to the coast to be traded for guns. Those Africans that were traded were transported across the Atlantic into the Americas to work on sugar plantations as enslaved people. We have now come to the end of this initial lesson, looking at European presence in the Far East with a specific reference to the African coast. I hope you have learned a lot and will be implementing some of what you have learned in your lessons at school. Take care. Until next time.